Welcome everybody to the West Midlands Combined Authority Apprenticeship virtual roadshow event. This is a fantastic event for you to get an overview of all the apprenticeships in the West Midlands and the opportunities available. I am your host, Alison Tucker from St Modwyn, I'm going to take you through this session and we're going to have a brilliant time. You're going to hear from lots of employers, lots of training providers and apprentices as well. Can I please remind you all to keep yourselves on mute and that the session is also being recorded. So only those that are presenting today to have a video on. So our agenda is on the screen. This is a welcome from myself. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute fantastic event. If you have any questions, please do pop them in the chat box and we will hopefully get some time to answer them. Or if not, we'll be able to find a way to support you as well. So I'm going to take us straight in now to our introduction video from our Mayor, Andy Street.
Hi there, Andy Street, Mayor of the West Midlands here, and I'm delighted to welcome you today to the first of the Combined Authorities Career and Opportunity Roadshows, as we're calling them, or really put more simply, a great event that's looking about jobs and opportunities for the future. Now we know, don't we, that jobs and opportunities are always critically important, and the choices that people make are life-defining, but it's even tougher in the teeth of COVID. So what these events are all about, I'm going to focus on different elements of the training and job sort of opportunities. What they're all about is saying what could be right for you. We've brought them together. It'll be across the region, across all of our partner organisations, great collaborations with lots of other people to make this happen, but it's focused on the opportunities for you. And we know, don't we, that on the back of the pandemic, we've seen the number of claimants increase across the region, but really encouragingly, the last 3 months, particularly young claimants, we've seen that number fall. So there is hope coming back. And the other good news is we've seen some other sectors having lots of opportunities in them, whether it be health and social care, where we've got over 10,000 vacancies in the region, whether it be hospitality really bouncing back, or of course, whether it be some of the new tech sectors and the sort of green growth sectors. So these Careers and Opportunities Roadshows are all about finding what's right for you. I hope you'll have a captivating day, and I hope you might even look back. This is an event which changed your life chance. That's what I'm after. Good luck.
It's a lovely video from Andy Street there, really showing everybody the amazing opportunities. And as Andy just mentioned, hospitality is one of those areas in particular that is really bouncing back and doing absolutely fantastic. And I know we've all missed it as well during this time. So I'm now going to hand over to the University College Birmingham for them to talk about their hospitality apprenticeships.
Hello there, it's Gail Tipper here, the Director of Apprenticeships at University College Birmingham, and I've also got in the room with me the NEC group. I've got an apprentice and the individuals in the management team who are actually coordinating everything at the NEC group. So it's really important that apprenticeships are all about employers. So I'm going to hand over to Angela Walsh and her colleagues just to talk through what they're looking for in hospitality and catering, and the fact that they've got a huge number of vacancies now that are all live, desperate to get people back in, and events and ways of working. And then at the end, I'll tell you a little bit about University College Birmingham, but the most important people to hear from today are the employers and the actual apprentices themselves. So over to you, Angela.
Thank you, Gail. Good morning, everybody. I'm Angela Walsh, the NEC Group Apprenticeship Coordinator, and this is Natasha Reid, who's the apprentice going to have a chat with us today. We have got a video. Will that come after? Shall I talk for a bit?
I think it's probably worth the video running now. There we go.
Hello again, everybody. So basically, the NEC group has a large part of the business which is called Amadeus, and that's our hospitality and catering area. And we provide the hospitality and catering for lots of the big venues in Birmingham, which would include the ICC in Birmingham, the Arena in Birmingham, which is now the Utilita Arena. We also have Resorts World Arena, the NEC, the Vox, Cadbury World, Dudley Zoo. So we supply the food and beverage for many local arenas and halls. We also do lots of outside catering. We do tennis, golf in Scotland. So basically, the offers that we have are quite extensive. We have a full apprenticeship programme at the NEC group, and at the moment we've got lots of vacancies for our chef apprenticeship, and we also have lots for our front of house apprenticeships. And this is in lots of our different venues. So that could be serving, burgers and chips in an arena, or going upstairs to the fine dining restaurant in the same arena. So the opportunities are really fantastic. Our apprentices, we encourage them to start with us and then often progress them to the next level if that's suitable for the individual and the business. We do not pay the lowest apprenticeship rate. We always pay more, and we review that rate 6 months into the programme. So if you're doing really well, then you'll get the option to have a pay rise, or the opportunity to have a pay rise. We supply uniform, there's a meal on duty, free parking for those who drive. And really what we try to do is have a supportive apprenticeship programme which supports all our apprentices depending on what age they are. Our apprentices go from level 2, which is new to business, but we also have some of our employees working on masters level 7. So apprenticeships really are for all age groups, but the hospitality and apprenticeship apprenticeships we've got at the moment are basically the commis chef, chef de partie, and front of house opportunities, which will then bring me on to having a chat with Natasha this morning. So this is Natasha Reid, and she's our level 3 hospitality supervisor apprentice, and she works at the NEC for the Amadeus arm of our group. So do you mind telling us a bit, Natasha, about I believe you went to university before you did your apprenticeship. Could you just tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, hi guys. I went to university to study social care and social policy. That was a 3-year degree. I graduated in 2017. Then I went on to work in that industry for a few years, but after not feeling that I was enjoying it as much, I wanted a new opportunity and a new challenge. So I decided to apply for this apprenticeship with the NEC group, working as a hospitality supervisor for Amadeus.
Okay, so how long have you been with the group now?
So I've been with the group almost about 2 years. I started in September, I believe it was 2019.
Yeah, we've all lost a year, so we have to apologise for that. So Natasha, so you're doing the hospitality supervisor level 3 apprenticeship. How's that going for you?
Yeah, that's going really well. I'm actually getting new opportunities within the business, learning new skills, different things in hospitality. Even though I did hospitality in my younger years, like after finishing high school as like a part-time job, during college, I'm getting new skills and new opportunities more and more as the apprenticeship goes on.
That's great to hear. So what are your highs about doing your apprenticeship, your hospitality supervisor apprenticeship? What are the highs?
I think it's skills development and being able to actually have this as another, course or another thing that I've been able to do, and these skills that I'm learning here are easily transferable into other positions within the business and other roles that I might be looking for in my future.
Super. And you have Claire as your tutor?
Yes.
Your coach from UCB, and how often do you see Claire?
I see Claire, it was every week, but it might be every 2 weeks now. But we still keep in contact, whether it's via email or text, or I call her if I need to contact her about any work-related things or anything related to the coursework, she's very available.
That's great news. And your plans for the future? What would you like to be doing in the future years?
In my future plans, I'd be aiming to progress within the business and see what other roles I could potentially do, and just keep developing my skills and keep moving forward. I think you never actually finish learning. There's always something you can learn. So that's what I'd like to do.
Super. Thank you, Natasha. Back to you, Gail.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you. I think that sort of points out that you don't always get it right first time. There are lots of people out there that have gone in all sorts of directions, and I think with the apprenticeship model, as long as we can find a great employer, somebody like the NEC group, there's a career for you out there. And I think looking at, you know, options, it's quite scary sometimes, particularly when people have gone through the last 18 months. It's probably even scarier sometimes when you're looking at maybe you wanted to do something in food or you wanted to do something hospitality and you're still sort of unsure. Believe me, you know, if that video at the beginning didn't excite you and you were ready and buzzing to be alive and awake and work for somebody like the NEC group at their Amadeus, you know, you're not alive. And I think what you can see is that University College Birmingham, we're a bit different. We are very much a vocational university and a college. So we do higher education and full-time education as well as apprenticeships. And we're based right in the heart of the city centre, so easily walkable from most of the public transport routes, easily recognisable. Lots of people in the city know us for our DNA, which was food and hospitality. So it's still core to what we do, but we do lots of other things as well. We offer level 2 to level 6, and the NEC group are very involved with us on their level 2 and level 3 hospitality and chefing programs, but also do some hospitality management. So you can see careers can take off. It might take you 3, 4, 5 years to get there because you need the job role. But the NEC group, you know, a great employer to work with lots and lots of different opportunities. If you want to see a little bit more about University College Birmingham, we've got quite a dynamic website now. It's alive, so you can go on some virtual tours and you can have a look at our lovely kitchens that people, even large employers nationally, come and stroke our cookers, which I find very odd, but let them do that. We have very, very experienced trainers, assessors, coaches that don't just leave you out there floating. We're on top of you. In fact, some of our learners and our apprentices sometimes say, can you leave me a bit to get to grips with this? And I'd rather hear that than somebody or a parent say to us, well, we've not seen anybody for a while. So we do get out there. We do call you. We are involved with our apprentices and our employers. We have fantastic relationships with our employers. We're open for business. We are here. We are doing various tours of the site. So, you know, if you need to come into Birmingham City Centre and you're looking for perhaps a half an hour, 40 minutes, just give our main reception a call on 0121 604 1000 and you can book in. We can take you around. We can show you. We can also show you how to look for vacancies for apprenticeships. So there's a lot on offer out there, and it's just knowing some of the little keys to unlock a few doors and have the confidence to make that call and step over the line and think, you know what, I'm going to have a look at this. Don't forget that food and hospitality is here to stay. Birmingham City Centre, the region as a whole, is vibrant. When we all get back at it, which is happening in certain pockets, hospitality and food, our business economy, our visitor economy is really going to take off. And don't forget, it's the Commonwealth Games next year. So people will be looking for roles where people are trained and able to work. So University College Birmingham, as I say, right in the heart of the centre. So don't forget, ask us those questions, have a look at what we do. We've got lots of information on our website. And as I say, without employers, it doesn't happen. Okay, so that's super. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gail. And I think your passion has just come across so well for this industry. And I couldn't echo more about what's happening in the region, especially with hospitality. Ourselves, you know, St Modwyn, we're actually in the process of building Digbeth Dining Club. that's coming to Longbridge. So it just goes to show exactly what's happening in the region. So thank you so much. On to our next speaker, which is obviously one of my favourite kind of areas of apprenticeships, although I do love all of them, but it's the construction area. So I'm going to welcome HomeServe and one of their apprentices to come and talk about all of the construction and what's going on. And it's so, so exciting. I can't wait to hear more.
Thank you. Thanks, Alison, and hi to everybody. My name is Helen Booth and I work for HomeServe, and I actually run something called the HomeServe Foundation, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about in a minute. And then after I've spoken, I'm going to introduce you to Jordan, who is one of our HomeServe apprentices. So I look forward to telling you more about it all. So firstly, the HomeServe Foundation. This is actually a charity. We're really fortunate that HomeServe are funding a charity to focus on increasing apprenticeships for every single business in the country. We are obviously based in the West Midlands. It's a very important area for us. We've got a head office in Walsall, if any of you know it, and we're really lucky to have Andy Street as a trustee on the board of the charity. So he's fully supportive of the work we do. So we've got a really big ambition, and that is over the next 3 years to increase the number of apprenticeships by 25,000, which seems like a huge number, but we're really confident we can achieve this. And one of the reasons we're focused on this is we know within, as Alison says, home improvements, construction, trades, all this sector, there is a huge amount of opportunity and growth. And you'll see from the next slide that we commissioned a report that tells us that in the next 10 years, there will be another extra 1.25 million workers needed in this sector. So it's definitely growing. We've got lots of opportunities with things like the green agenda as well. So as you all know, every home is looking to be more environmentally friendly and more energy efficient. So watch this space, because there'll be lots more skills developed in this area of work. You'll be having replacements for gas boilers, you'll be having better cavity insulation, better double glazing, and the houses that are more energy efficient will be right up there as a priority for government as well. So we know from this index also that as a result of this significant increase in this sector, we are going to be looking for over 305,000 more apprentices. So that's the target in 10 years. The reason for this, as you can see from this slide, is that we are losing people from this sector in a number of ways. We've got obviously the retiring. So we've got a fifth of all workers in this sector are age over 55. So we're actively encouraging more and more people to join this sector at a younger age and learn from this experience before they retire and we lose these skills in the future. We've also lost over 20,000 workers due to Brexit, and that number is increasing all the time. And we have got a significant skill shortage because of this. And what's really interesting about working in construction and home improvements is that you've got 60% of businesses are small businesses. So if you've ever thought about working for a smaller business rather than a larger business, this is a great opportunity for you as well. We within HomeServe also own an organisation called Checkatrade, and most people know the name Checkatrade or they've seen the adverts. Checkatrade is a network of small businesses. We have 45,000 members at the moment across the country. A lot of these are in the West Midlands. And these small businesses are really, really keen to take on an apprentice. A lot of the time they don't know how to go about it. And when we've spoken to a number of small businesses, they say, we just want someone we can really trust. We want someone who's committed to the job. If they come and join our business, we'll treat them like family. We'll give them all the support they need. but we just don't know how to find them, and we don't know how to go about taking on an apprentice. So we're working a lot with small businesses to help them, but we also are calling out for all of you to think, okay, I'm really interested in doing this particular trade. Therefore, how do I find the best employer? We know that there's lots of employers out there, but they might not have yet posted an advert for an apprenticeship or got round to doing it. They just know they're really busy and they need help. So I would recommend, if you're thinking or interested in a particular trade sector, really going and having a look at those specialisms and thinking about what you'd really enjoy and taking those steps to engage with the right businesses. So next slide, please. I'm going to introduce you to the Apprenticeship Academy. Now, the Apprenticeship Academy is actually based in Nottingham, so it's slightly outside of West Midlands, but we do have people travelling from all over the country to come to the Academy. And the reason for this is that the facilities are excellent. When anyone walks into the Academy, which I'm sure Jordan will back me up on, is they're really impressed by what is on offer. If you think about learning a trade, you think about practical experience and practical sort of knowledge. So we've actually almost set it up as an IKEA in a way. So when you walk in, you can see kitchens, you can see bathrooms, you can see almost set up as somebody's home, so that when you're learning the trade, you're actually practicing in an environment that feels like somebody's home. Because when you do become a skilled trades professional, you need to be aware of what it's like to practice in a home and be respectful of that person's home when you're actually working in it. Particularly with the events of COVID, we have to be really careful about social distancing and that type of thing. So the Apprenticeship Academy is up and running. At the moment, we are delivering training, which you will see on the next slide, which is classroom based and practical training. And we are doing that not just for home serve apprentices, we're doing it for other businesses as well. So we have a number of small businesses that are sending their apprentices to us to get the best possible training that they can. And it's great to kind of connect with all these different apprentices, young and old, who really want to learn a trade. We are focusing on gas engineering at the moment, but next year we're planning to expand to other different specialisms in the trade sector. We were awarded what's called main provider status last January, so it's quite early in terms of delivery, but we are practicing what we preach in terms of good quality training for not just home serve, for other subcontractors and other trades businesses. So you'll see from the next slide that there are a number of opportunities available. So if you take the Checker Trade members that I mentioned before, there's specialisms such as electricians, plumbers, painters and decorators, bricklayers, plasterers. And I would highly recommend being proactive in contacting Checker Trade members. We get a lot of response from them saying we're really interested, but we don't know any good quality apprentices. Well, then reach out yourselves and make contact and suggest an apprenticeship, and I'm sure you'd get some positive response. Home Serve Limited is also advertising apprentices. We've just recently recruited a cohort of 12 apprentices that are starting in the academy next week. So I'm really looking forward to meeting them. And as I mentioned, Jordan is a Home Serve apprentice who we're going to talk to in a minute. And we also have a number of subcontractors that are recruiting apprentices as well. I've mentioned on this slide just a couple of the other businesses that are currently supporting apprentices. And some of them are actually, such as Reams, are saying, okay, I've taken on one apprentice, it's really great, I'm going to employ someone else. And what you will find with a lot of these businesses is that they started their journey as an apprentice, and that's why they're really committed to recruiting more. And if you are to endeavour to take on a career in these specialisms, I would highly recommend you think about that as a future opportunity. You learn your trade and then you have the potential to run your own business. and really make a success of your career by being a business owner and employing other people. So don't discount the opportunities available in a sector where it's growing all the time. There's lots more happening. There's lots more skills to learn around the environmental agenda. And we at the HomeServe Foundation are really, really keen to hear from you. You know, if you've got employers that need additional support, we are very much committed to supporting the employers to unlock the potential to take on more apprentices and achieve our target. So that's all about the HomeServe Foundation, HomeServe themselves. And on the next slide, we have a advert which went out recently. As I said, we've just recruited for this, but what you can see from this advert is that there is an opportunity to learn all aspects of diagnostics, repairs, installations for boilers. It's quite a technical job, so if you're hands-on and like technical experience, then it's definitely the job for you. And as you can see, the pay and benefits are great as well. As I said, we've just recruited one cohort. We will be doing future recruitment, and we'll keep obviously the jobs boards posted of those vacancies in the future. And we were probably going to offer out some plumbing apprenticeships in the new year as well. So we'll definitely share details of that. So I'm going to introduce you now to Jordan. Jordan Rhodes, I'm hoping you're here. I've got a message to say you have. If you are you all right to speak so we can hear from you?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi, Jordan. Thanks for joining us.
I'm just trying to find the camera button. There we go.
I know you actually had to go out and do a job this morning, so
yeah.
I appreciate the fact you've come back for the event.
No, it's fine.
Just tell us what you were doing this morning.
A lad who's currently been off sick has had a heart attack, and he weren't allowed to do any heavy lifting, so I literally have to go out to a job and just take a boiler off a wall.
Oh my goodness.
Just because he couldn't do it. So yeah.
And is he all right? Is he recovering?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, still
Good,
moaning.
good.
It's all right.
Great. So Jordan, just tell us a little bit about how long you've been with HomeServe and why you wanted to do an apprenticeship.
So with HomeServe, I've been with HomeServe for 2 years now. Before I come to HomeServe, we worked for a company called HelpLink, which HomeServe actually bought. Coming from HelpLink to HomeServe, the apprenticeship side of HelpLink wasn't actually that good. And then when HomeServe bought HelpLink, we got sent to this college, the Apprenticeship Academy. And it just sort of shows you that the normal colleges that they have to encounter everyone else. They have to provide everyone else with other workshops. Whereas this one, it just suits our needs, so they can focus a lot more on us, really. And I think that's just really good.
Thank you. So you decided to do the apprenticeship, and that is obviously being done at the Nottingham Academy now.
Correct, yeah.
What do you enjoy about your studies? What do you like about doing the apprenticeship?
I like that in the Apprenticeship Academy, the groups aren't too big. So I think in our group at the moment, there's about 12 people, and there's two tutors. So the group isn't too big, and the tutors can get round everyone, and you seem to have a lot more time with your tutors. And if you have any problems or you need anything, it seems to be dealt with a lot quicker because there are more tutors and the groups are small, really.
Good. And are you enjoying, in your group, are you working with apprentices from other businesses as well?
So in our group, there's 3 of us who are from HomeServe, and then the rest are just other companies.
Great. So is there an opportunity to sort of learn from others and what they're doing?
Definitely. Yeah. Obviously, some people learn different on site to what you do. So when you come in, you learn each other's techniques, and some things that they do you find easier. Some things that you do they find easier. So it's a really good way to sort of build your knowledge, if you like.
That's great. That's good. And in terms of when you're on the job, you're still learning.
Yeah.
Do you get support from someone whilst you're, do you get a mentor or a supervisor or someone to help you?
So yeah, dealing with gas, you're not actually allowed to go out on your own until you've got your certificate. So you have to be with a mentor at all times. And I've been with quite a few now, but all the mentors that I've been with have been absolutely great. The best way that they can. They support you. Like for college, you have to do pictures for your portfolios and stuff. And they're always very supportive, trying to take pictures. And whenever you have to get someone out to come and view you on site, obviously if you're on a job and you're rushing, it can be quite annoying really to have someone come out and watch you. Whereas all the mentors that I've been with, they haven't really minded, and they've sort of pushed me to get the mentors, to get the assessors out and get them to take the pictures and get them to assess us on site.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. And what would you like to do in the future? Last question.
I'd love to work for ArmServe full time. That's the plan.
Great. That's good. Well, I think you're doing a great job at showing how committed you are and hardworking and dealing with eventualities that you don't expect last minute and coming back and presenting at events. So well done, Jordan. We do appreciate your time today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's it from us. Thank you.
Yeah, Helen, do you know what? That's absolutely amazing what you're doing. And it's, again, it just shows construction and how we're always trying to all work together, aren't we, to support the industry. And we know that there's this problem with the ageing workforce, and also all the new initiatives that are coming out, and biodiversity, you know, being net carbon zero. So that sounds absolutely fantastic. For the young people that are on the call, or those interested in apprenticeships, if you go on to Go Construct, there's actually over 170 different job roles in construction. So go and have an explore of that, because you'll actually probably find that there's a job for everybody. And there's just so much more. I've got a QR code just here. We've got our own Facebook page as well, which is all about trying to support people with getting an insight into the vast amount of careers. Helen, if you want to pop anything on there about your foundation, please do, because it's all about supporting everybody in the industry to really raise the profile. So as I said, construction's always my favourite because I work in it and I love it so much, and it's just ever changing, and it's always going to be there. So definitely a fantastic area to get apprenticeships. But then there's another area that I like as well, and that's the new one that's coming up, which is our business, finance and professional industry. So I'm really excited to invite our speaker from BMET to come and talk about all the fantastic business, finance and professional types of roles that are available. So handing it over.
Hello, my name's Tony. I'm from Birmingham Metropolitan College. And I'm here today to talk to you guys about the BPS sector. You might think that it's a huge contrast of BPS to construction, but there are so many links within those two areas. So first and foremost, a bit about BMET. So we are home to one of the UK's only business and professional services academies. So our professional service academy is based in Matthew Bolton, which is our city centre campus. And the idea of the Business Professional Service Academy is all around specialising in developing skills and knowledge, sort of to work within the business and professional services sector. And from now I'm going to call it BPS because I know I'm going to mess up at some point. And we work in partnership with employers to deliver sort of industry-specific skills to sort of help people develop into those roles. So we have some quite large partners that we work with who sort of collaborate with us. So we work with Deloitte, Deutsche Bank, Gately, KPMG, you know, just name-dropping kind of thing. But yeah, we work with quite a large number of large organisations who really help us develop and deliver these programmes. They provide we provide expert support and workshops, high quality mentors from some of these large organisations, and the idea is all around exciting project based learning moving forwards. So that's a bit about the Professional Services Academy. Moving on, so what is the BPS sector? Well, the BPS sector is a thriving sector across the Greater Birmingham area, and it's one of the biggest industries in the sector in the region at the moment. As I alluded to a second ago, it doesn't necessarily sit within a sort of category of its own. It can really sort of umbrella the whole wide range of sectors that are out there. So Greater Birmingham has developed an international reputation from some of the world's biggest, best known firms as the city to come to and locate in. So yeah, that's you know, London, away you go. So that means that obviously we work with some of the largest, Birmingham has some of the largest top brands in the world, so within the financial, legal, consultancy, marketing firms. So some of those brands, as alluded to a second ago, are, you know, Lloyd's, TSB, Wesleyan, Gately, KPMG, BNP Paribas. The list just goes on. And if you sort of drive into Birmingham city centre at the moment and look around, you can see the infrastructure being built. You can see the skyscrapers going up, and that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's because regionally the sector is made up of about 48,000 companies, and that's growing, employing around 358,000 people. And that's predicted, like I said, to grow by about 31% by 2030. Don't know where they're going to house them all within Birmingham city centre. I think the sky's just going to get bigger, isn't it? But yeah, that's the plan. So many of these firms are coming to Birmingham because it's centrally based, are sort of you know, they offer strong career opportunities for progression and promotion. And one of the ways they do that is they work with providers such as ourselves to sort of work with apprenticeship opportunities, internships, sector-based work academies, all of this good stuff. And they realise that it's beneficial to them to grow their talent from within. So they use apprenticeship programmes to help that, you know, progress moving forwards. And as such, there are plenty of benefits. One of those is obviously, like I said, flexible working arrangements, but also progression within the business and longevity within that business as well. If we can move on to the next slide, please. So building your career in the BPS sector with BMET. So we offer a wide range of sort of opportunities and training programs within the college. We offer accounting at levels 2, 3 and 4, business administration, which is our level 3 program, business improvement technician, which is a new one to us, but is flying off the shelves. And that's a really interesting one, actually. It really looks at how someone can come into the business and sort of look at how new ways of implementing new systems, that sort of stuff. Customer service at level 2. We've got the HR, which has a CIPD element as well, which is always useful, at level 3 and 5, sorry. IT at level 3, junior content producer, which is another really interesting one, because that's got a lot of creative elements to it, but also there's lots of administration work going on there as well, which sort of ties nicely in with the BPS sector. And then leadership and management, so team leader qualifications at level 3. And my favourite, because I'm currently doing the apprenticeship, is an operations and department management qualification as well at level 5. We do have a variety of opportunities that we're currently doing at the moment with BMET. So we are currently sort of in the pipeline working with BNP Paribas to recruit 12 operations apprentices into their operations centre. So that's something that we're currently working on. So keep your eyes on the ground for that one. If anyone is interested in any of our vacancies, you can always just pop over to bmet.ac.uk and sort of have a sift through. We've got a wide range of apprenticeships going on at the moment with a variety of different businesses. So please just pop over, have a look. I will pop some notes in the chat for anyone who's interested, either wants to reach out to me or go on the BMET website. And yeah, if we could move on to, I think we've got a video now of an apprentice and an employer just giving their overview. So if you wouldn't mind playing that, please.
I feel like I make a valuable contribution to the business. We also have our own clients to look after week by week. So I can speak to up to 300 clients per week. But I also take all the phone calls and send people's documents out. So I'm just playing a big part really to making the company work and just helping everybody out. I could go to uni if I wanted to as well, because I've got level 3. That's equivalent to an A level really. It'll help me get further up in the sort of work chain as well.
I love the job and I love my role as well. I'm constantly learning new things, enjoy new challenges every day.
They're great because they get straight into it. They want to learn. They're like sponges. They want to learn the products and more importantly, buy into our culture here as well. It's a great way of an individual coming into your company and finding out whether that industry is for them. And obviously, from an employer's point of view, are they suitable as well?
I was an apprentice, but now I've just been signed off and I've just signed my permanent contract.
I was an apprentice, but now I'm a business administrator.
I feel like.
So yeah, that's it from us at BMET. Sorry I spoke so quickly. I'd been practicing this to talk a little bit slower, but no, I just blitzed through it. So yeah, thank you for your time, guys. And like I said, I'll pop an email address and website address in the chat if anyone's interested.
Tony, thank you so much. And I think, you know, your passion for the area came across because, again, as you said, there is so much going on in construction in the, you know, in the area, and these, everything that you do needs to support those functions, don't they? So actually every role that you're talking about is needed. And, you know, quite rightly, you know, Birmingham is the place to want to be, isn't it, for every organisation? We seem to have that massive, you know, REL, you know, HS2 going across, you know, it's going to be a lot quicker for people to get to the region, you know. So yeah, totally agree with yourself about everything that's going on. It's so exciting. So, and BMET have got a fantastic reputation really for what they do as well. So I think you really presented that absolutely amazingly. So so yeah. So, well, we're running a little bit ahead of schedule, which is always what I like, but you know, I'm not going to moan. So I'm going to move on to another area, which is another area that I love so much, because it lends itself to construction, which is where my passion is. And we're going to go to engineering and manufacturing. And I'm going to now introduce our Southern City College, Birmingham. And they've got an employer and an apprentice with them as well. So Rebecca, are you okay to take over the
yeah,
fabulous.
Fab, thanks so much, thank you. So yes, I'm Becky Waterfield from Southern City College, Birmingham, not Chris Hayden, as it says on the slides. Unfortunately, he's been pulled into a meeting with a client, so he's asked me to take over from him. So yes, Southern City College, Birmingham, about engineering and manufacturing apprenticeships, which is a really exciting time and exciting sector for us as a college. I'm going to speak very briefly about the college and our offer, but most importantly, we have Sonam and Adam joining us from the Ability Matters group, who can talk a bit about their apprenticeship opportunity and their journeys. So the next slide, please. So a bit about Southern City, for those of you who don't know us. We're one of the largest FE colleges in the region, with 8 campuses across the city. You might recognise us from the pink cars that quite often are seen driving around the city centre, bright pink being our corporate colours. We're partners for the Institute for Technology, which is partnership with all of the local colleges and universities to support engineering manufacturing in the region. And so our offer goes from entry level all the way up to degree level through our partnerships. You start, you come to us and we will work with you to help you succeed and to help you get to your end goal. We've had a student recently that came to us with no qualifications at all and is now doing their degree in engineering at the University of Birmingham. And it is heartwarming to see that there is a career path for everybody. Our engineering facilities have been brought back to Longbridge, so back on the old MG Rover site. So we're bringing engineering back to the south of Birmingham. That's where all our apprentices are based, and that's where we go up to higher level education. So you can do your engineering from level 3, is where we start on the apprenticeship, all the way up to degree level. We've got brand new facilities there using all the modern equipment. So whatever you see in the workshop is normally what your employer has. We'll move on to the next slide, please. So apprenticeships, as you can see, they go all the way up to degree level now. There are thousands of different apprentices in development. So just more broadly outside of engineering and manufacturing, did you know you could be a nuclear scientist apprentice? Who knew? I know, I'd love it. I love apprenticeships, and I think it's the best place in the world to get your start in life. I dropped out of college at 17 and got a job, and I did my apprenticeship, and I ended up being a manager of a marketing team before I joined the college, running 53 offices. Apprenticeships are a great way of getting your foot on the ladder with those qualifications. And what we're seeing in engineering and manufacturing is a huge resurgence of the sector. We are being contacted daily by engineering manufacturing companies all over the West Midlands who are desperate for their staff. They need their succession planning, they need talent recruitment into those new roles in the business. So please reach out to us and see how we can help with your journey in engineering and manufacturing. We've got companies that manufacture kitchens, and I'm not going to steal Ability Matters Group thunder by telling you what they do, because that is very exciting. But they manufacture kitchens, we manufacture widgets, parts for cars, you name it. There is a thriving engineering manufacturing sector within the West Midlands. Next, please. So very briefly, and I've seen some questions in the chat about what an apprenticeship is, so I'll just quickly go over it. An apprenticeship, first and foremost, is a job. It's a paid job with a company with training attached. They range between 12 months to 4 years in length. So the apprenticeship level 3 is 4 years in duration. So it's a big old apprenticeship, a big old commitment. And no, there is no age limit. Starting at 16, but anyone of any age can do an apprenticeship. And we have had a lot of career changes. People that have worked in different sectors wanting to move into engineering manufacturing because they see that as a new career path for them. Come on in. Everyone's welcome. Welcome everybody in, and we'll support in any way possible to help you get there. Next slide, please. I've spoken about it briefly. There are hundreds of different opportunities in engineering manufacturing. We start our offer at level 3 at the engineering technician, and we currently offer the machinist and technical support pathways in a variety of different engineering manufacturing sectors. We do have the level 4 apprenticeship available now, which includes your HNC, which is equivalent to the first year of university, and we will be delivering the level 5 and higher apprenticeships in the future. 90% of our apprentices go into full-time permanent employment on completion of the apprenticeship. These are jobs, these aren't short-term opportunities. This is a company that's investing in you for 4 years. So they want to keep you afterwards. They want you to be part of their workforce and they want to develop you. And similar, as Alison and others said, in construction, it's a boom sector and the progression opportunities are huge. It's a brilliant time to invest in apprenticeships. It really is. On that note, I'm going to hopefully pass over to Sonam, I believe, who's going to talk a bit about Ability Matters Group.
I am. Hi, so I'm Sonam. I'm the operations manager based in Ortho Europe in Birmingham, which is part of the Ability Matters Group. So we can just move on to the next slide. So the Ability Matters Group is a group of companies. So we have over 700 employees across the UK, Ireland, and then also in Europe. We specialise in integrated product and services in prosthetics, orthotics and wheelchairs and seating. And we've had a rapid growth over the last 3 years, which has mean an increase in both the manufacturing sites and the clinical sites that we have across the UK and Europe. So if we just give a brief overview as to what we do, so we deal with prosthetics, orthotics and wheelchairs. So prosthetics would be artificial limbs and legs used by those who have a limb absence. And then orthotics would be devices worn externally to the body to support, control and align the body. So that could be braces, helmets, insoles. Ortho Europe in Birmingham, we actually make footwear and insoles. So we deal predominantly in orthotics. And then we also have wheelchairs and custom specialised seating, which is prescribed to patients who need postural and mobility support. So that could be the manufacture of wheelchairs, and it could also be the repair of wheelchairs. So in terms of our clinical locations, so those are based quite spread out over the UK. So they are, the UpCare locations are what provides the clinical support. So that would be all the centres where they are seeing the patients. And then on the next slide, we've got just a map showing where our Ortho Europe locations are. So they would be the manufacturing sites. So we have a number of them in UK, and then we've also got them in France, Netherlands, and then elsewhere in Europe as well. So in terms of the apprenticeships and Ortho Europe, we like to focus a lot on the patient journey, because for us, as we said, we have the clinical locations and the manufacturing sites. So it really is an end-to-end journey. So that would start in the clinic with the initial fittings. We've started to incorporate a lot of 3D technology now and scanning, just so the end-to-end process is a lot quicker for the patient. So traditionally, you'd be sending actual casts and impressions to the manufacturing sites, but we're now developing technology where we can scan those, so it could be instant, or if not within a few hours, that they would actually get to the manufacturing site. So once they've got the initial fittings, those manufactured items would then be presented to the patients in their final fittings. So that could be a number of fittings. It doesn't just have to be one until they're actually happy with the product. And then once they've become established users, that isn't the end of the lifeline for the product. They often come back for repeats or repairs, any adaptations as their conditions might change. So it really is an end-to-end journey. And we really do focus on the patient experience and making sure that they do get what they really need out of the product. And the next slide, please. So in terms of the apprenticeships that we're offering, because our manufacturing is quite niche in terms of the products that we do and the client base, we are really looking to develop future needs for the business and also future skills. As I said, we're working heavily in terms of the technology that we're developing, so we can improve our processes and just make everything a lot more accurate and a lot more quicker for the patients. So for us, we're trying to develop apprenticeships so we can create a new talent for the business. And then students do spend a lot of time on site, so they're really gaining a full-time job and experience that are relevant to the industry itself. So we're hoping, obviously, the apprenticeships that we're offering and the apprentices that we're supporting across the whole company, so that would be all the different manufacturing sites, they can really help the company to support our current and future needs, because we only see the business growing. As I said, we've had a lot of development in the last couple of years, so we do see it as a growing company and business. And now I've got Adam with me, who's apprenticeship here in Birmingham. So as I said, we focus on insoles and custom orthopedic footwear here. So he'll just give a bit on his experience of what it's like to be an apprentice.
Hi, so my experience of being an apprentice is first of all, I prefer a more hands-on approach to what I do. So I had the option of either going to full-time education, going to college, or having an apprenticeship. And getting an apprenticeship for me was a lot better for me, because getting an apprenticeship allows me to gain more experience and knowledge within the workplace, whereas going to college full-time, I wouldn't get that valuable knowledge I need. Also, being an apprentice, I'm seen as a full-time worker. I'm not seen as just some apprentice looking for work experience. I'm treated with respect and trust, which has led to me gaining a lot of opportunities within the workplace. I've begun learning some new roles, such as CAD, so that's computer-aided design. Obviously, learning different roles, I'll be cross-trained. I can learn multiple areas in engineering.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
That boosts me to learn stuff. That allows me to learn other roles within engineering sectors. One of my key goals for the future is obviously improving the world, helping the world in one way, shape, or form. And this having this apprenticeship allows me to further my skills and also gain new ones through being taught it and going out of my way and learning new stuff. So learning new skills will allow me to obviously help me meet my end goal of helping the world in some way. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
I think
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because that's fab. Thank you so much, Sonam and Adam. That's really great. And I love Ability Matters Group, because who'd have thought you could have a career making prosthetics and actually seeing the service user at the end, that full journey, as Sonam said, where this is vital to someone's life, but it's connected to engineering manufacturing. So I think it's really exciting to see the company grow, and we are potentially having 30 apprentices start with us in September from across the country, but yes, from Birmingham as well. on a group delivery. So thanks so much for your time today, guys. Thank you.
Oh, Becky, it's so amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's just something completely different, and
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic with the stories we've had. We had a lady called Bex who works at Ability Matters Group who actually started off in theatre, and she used to make all the stage props, and then completely left-hand turn into engineering manufacturing to make and manufacture these bits of equipment, which are fantastically vital.
Yeah, and the transferable skills, again, it's about that transferable skills and not discounting any of what you've done. You know, we've had a few comments in the chat about, is there an upper age limit? You know, we ourselves as a business, we've recruited career changers, and, you know, it's those added skills that you get from people. But yeah, engineering, manufacturing, again, you know, link it to all of our different industries that we've got here today. I take some of our houses, we're having smart roofs manufactured off-site and then put onto the houses. So again, everything lends itself so well, doesn't it? It's fascinating really when you look at how we're changing and, you know, what we're having to do now as a country really, and adapt, isn't it? It's completely. So yeah. So we're now going to move on to Apprentify, which I'm very excited to have Paul with us and find out about digital, which is one of those areas that is absolutely massive and is linked into everything and every job. And look at us today, we're in digital, aren't we? So I'm gonna hand over to you to explain everything, because it's fascinating, and I'm still just not the best techie.
Hi everyone. I'm here today to talk about Apprentify and our sort of partnership with McCann. So the next slide, please. So Apprentify, we are an organisation that was founded to help train and assess candidates in the digital transformation of businesses, really. So we work with organisations across England and in the West Midlands to provide digital talent. It's a really growing sector, and in fact, most businesses, sectors, organisations have a digital requirement, and we work with large multinational organisations right down to smaller organisations across a range of industries, from fashion, construction, motor, recruitment, government, digital marketing agencies such as McCann, and where we're different is we assess candidates at our weekly or now in fact daily digital assessment centres. So people can apply for our assessment centre, and we will assess the candidates on a range of areas that are prevalent in the digital area, whether that's data, whether that's creative, whether it's writing, whether it's analytics. And what we do is we also assess behaviours and traits, so we can guide people to understand where their best skill set or behaviours lie, and where they may well be or have a career in digital, which would be better for them. So some people are more data driven, so they may go down the analytical side, or even website building, app building, software development, or they may be on the creative side, where that might be more design, advertising, social media. So out of that assessment centre, the candidates then understand where they best fit or could best fit, and we match the employers with the candidate skill set. So that's what makes us slightly different to other apprenticeship providers, because we give a lot of careers advice and guidance in where the candidate may well fit in the digital area. So on to the next slide, please. So tech and digital, it's growing, it's massive. This is an extract from the newspaper a couple of weeks ago. There's huge growth in tech and digital roles across across the UK and England. And actually West Midlands is our biggest growth area at the moment. We're seeing such a big growth in digital requirements because the sector and the area is growing in itself, and with growth in business and the economy comes with a digital requirement. The one thing that COVID has done for businesses is it's driven a lot of businesses more online and into the digital sector, which has meant that there's now such a high demand for digital talent, and it's usually not an area where most people, when they're at school, when they're at college, even when they're at university, are thinking about it as a career or a sector to go into. So on to the next slide, please. This was just an example that came out last week of the difference between sort of, going to university and doing an apprenticeship. It is a real alternative to going to university or even college, because actually you're earning while you learn, and it is a real sort of area that we're seeing a lot of people now taking the decision of actually going into a digital apprenticeship to gain that foot in the door and to get the experience and the knowledge to make them a more well-rounded professional in the area. And anybody can apply and be a digital specialist. Doesn't need any experience. We work from career changers through to people that just left school, people left college, even university students, any age, and you can come with no experience in the sector, and the apprenticeship will teach you how to be good at that career, but also well-rounded as a professional in the industry. So on to the next slide, please. This is a few of our sort of apprenticeships that we offer. So one of our main apprenticeships is digital marketing, which is level 3 program, and then within digital marketing you can go into a lot of different areas. So you can go into SEO, which is search engine optimization, how to make your a business website appear in Google or search terms. It can be website development, so it can be building websites, creating apps and developing apps, design. It could be Google or social media and advertising, which is to get your business or a website seen to the outside world. We also work with a really popular program called Junior Content Producer, which is actually creating really effective content through video, animations, infographics. Anything you see on social media or on the internet is content, and the most valuable thing to most businesses and people now is getting that engagement, because people scrolling through millions of pages on the phones or laptops or iPads, and it's so valuable now to businesses to providing great content that reaches out to the right audience. We offer software developer and software tester apprentices, so level 3 and 4 on that one, which is about building apps and websites and technology. It's a really popular sort of area for apprentices. We do data analysis, so looking at data and how to understand data and visualize it to make better decisions for businesses, and business analysts, which is analysing all areas of businesses. So across the spectrum of businesses and digital, we work with lots of apprentices that have got no experience or minimal experience. That can go into some of these might seem very daunting to people thinking data analyst or business analyst, but it's not. It really isn't. And we can work and identify where the best fit for talent is. So so we work with lots of organisations. One of our key partnerships in the West Midlands in the area is with McCann. So I've got Rebecca Philbin from McCann who will talk about our partnership and what they do, the great things they do. Next slide.
Thanks, Paul. And I suppose before I jump into the video, and thank you for driving the presentation so brilliantly. We are McCann Central, so our head office is in Solihull, so in the West Midlands, and we are a marketing and advertising company of about 500 people across all in the UK, and it wouldn't really be for us to start without there being a fancy video. So if we can roll that, and then I'll talk a bit more about our partnership with Apprentify. Thank you very much. So as you can see there, what we do is that we are marketing and advertising, and our mission is to help brands earn a meaningful role in people's lives. And when it comes to what that looks like, and how apprenticeships play a large part in that, of course, advertising is such a broad industry, and of course we may have been making some of those adverts you see on TV, on print, on billboards all around the country, but importantly for what we're talking about here, digitally. So is it on web, is it on devices? And so we partner with Apprentify for our digital marketing apprentices, and they come into the organisation and have such a rich learning experience through Apprentify. They're learning so much because it's such a huge topic to learn about, and then, as Paul says, you can then understand all the different things that go into building websites, that go into social media, that go into how those adverts pop up on YouTube when you're halfway through. And our roles when it comes to digital apprentices will sit in our pay-per-click team or our SEO team, but the learning that you do is across the whole suite of digital marketing. We are focused for this session especially on the West Midlands, and as I said, we're in Solihull, and it's really important to us to bring people from the local community into our organisations in a really structured learning way, so that they can build long-lasting and fulfilling careers in an industry that is only going to grow more and more as it has throughout the pandemic with digital. So that's a little bit about us, and just on the kinds of people that we bring in, just like Paul said, we're all about that attitude, about understanding why you have a passion. We're not expecting you to know loads about SEO and PPC or how you would manage a social media campaign. We want to see your energy, and we want to see how excited you are about this industry and joining it, really. So I know we've got a role live at the moment, so that sits with Apprentify, and we'll definitely have more in the future. But hey, if anyone out there listening in, give advertising and media a go. You won't regret it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it's very true. It's a sector and a role that a lot of people don't consider, and it's so rewarding because you get to cover the whole spectrum of digital, which it's such a growth area.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
And it's almost like the science behind some of it, like I mentioned. Like a lot of people would think when it comes to advertising, they would just feel, oh, TV ads or print ads. But of course, it's so much more than that. And there's so many different amazing things to learn about that fuel that.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, it's absolutely amazing what you do, and you are magicians. I've got to say, you know, some of the work that you do from a digital point of view, you know, it's magicians, isn't it? So I think, and the fact that you've just mentioned that you've got an actual live vacancy at the moment, you know, I think we need to just repeat that again for any young people or you know, older people that are on the call, because, you know, there's a fantastic opportunity. Right.
Absolutely.
So who knows? So yeah, definitely make sure you do your research, you know, and find out about the business and what they do. And yeah, definitely sounds very, very exciting. And, you know, again, it covers every single industry, doesn't it? And yeah. So I think I'd like to find the science out, actually. Why does that video in particular pop up right in the middle of my video?
Wizardry. I told it, like, just like you said, secrets and wizardry that we will teach you.
Yeah. So no, fantastic. So do you know what, I'm learning so much today about all the different apprenticeships and that side of things, and I'm really excited about the next one that we're going to move on to as well. And I'm sure that, you know, digital comes into this quite often as well, and we're going to hear from PTP now, and they are going to talk to us about health, which I think is a very big topic. Again, I think every topic that we've talked about today is huge, isn't it? So yeah, I'm really interested about this, Corrie, because I don't know much at all. So yeah, please take it away, and yeah, keen to find out more.
Hello everyone, thank you for having us. Yeah, here to talk about health. Obviously, really broad spectrum of qualifications and career opportunities within the health care profession. So we'll concentrate on mainly health, but also walk you through some of the other things that we have on offer as well. So myself, I'm Business Development Manager, basically work based in Walsall, but operate throughout the Midlands. Moving on, so I could talk probably all day about PTP, performance through people, being award winners, our Ofsted grading, what some of our partners say about us and our apprentices, but I will not bore you, and I know that will probably be another meeting in itself. And we'll just kind of move on to the first sector, which is health. Yay! So our offer basically breaks down into four main subject areas. The first and the largest thing we do is generally around kind of health, healthcare, any allied healthcare services. So one of the biggest ones we do, dental nursing, falls under health, and it's actually worked with a lot of mainly private dental practices throughout the whole of the Midlands. And what we do is we support them both hiring new dental nurses and also upskilling any of their existing staff. So an opportunity for a dental nurse would be probably around 18 months long to train. And it can lead to progression and careers within, practice management, radiography, working within a hospital and getting, the real nitty-gritty stuff they do and the operational stuff they do there. Next one is adult care. So not just working in a care home. Oh, sorry. Not just working in a care home, it's also, domiciliary care, supporting people within their own home, residential, also kind of daycare settings as well for people who have severe support needs. So if you're a caring person, we do level 2 to level 3 in that area, and it's a really nice, rewarding, career to get into. There's a lot of job satisfaction in supporting and caring people. Next one, so healthcare support. Now, one of our biggest partners within healthcare support is actually West Midlands Ambulance Service. So generally we have around 80 to 100 apprentices on programme with us at any one time from West Midlands Ambulance Service. So they're one of our major partners. They're always kind of getting involved and always winning loads of awards for Best Apprentice of the Year and Apprentice Employer and things like that. So good career to get into. No day's the same, as you can be aware, and I suppose the things you see on a day-to-day basis will never be the same either. Does take a strong stomach. Don't know whether I'd have it, but yeah, great opportunities. Also, what fits within care and allied health is kind of your education things, so around teaching assistant, coaching and mentoring, early years care, early years educator. So that's all to do with kind of educating and supporting young people up to the age of 16, whether that's in nursery, whether in a primary school setting or secondary school setting. And that is available to new people moving into the sector, and also for people to upskill who are already in a similar role or want to kind of use an apprenticeship to move job roles within their company. Okay, so next one is, I'll just go briefly over, so business and professional we've already talked about, obviously. We go up to kind of master's degree level within accountancy, and also the grassroots entry into kind of HR, admin, sales, customer service, and then you can use an apprenticeship to go up to management as well. So if you're in a role, it's very much team leader, management, and those qualifications are there to support you within your role. Next one is, I think it's leatherwork. Yeah, so already talked about this one too, but good one to mention for opportunities is leatherwork, which not many people leave school and think I want to work in leatherwork. But it really is a dying trade, and the industry is really keen to get new hires, new skills, really heavily recruiting within the area, especially Walsall. We've got the Leatherwork Museum here. And did anybody know that a little manufacturing company in Walsall actually makes and designs the Queen's handbags, the only handbags she'll ever wear, Lorna London, and they're based in Walsall. So that's a good one if you're looking for a career that's a bit hands-on, a bit crafty, and you maybe want to progress into kind of design, fashion, or saddlery, or anything like that. That's a good one to keep an eye on. Next one is supply chain and commercial. Everyone's watching news, massive need for people to move into HGV drivers, warehousing, logistics, all those, you know, it's become even more important to us getting our online orders. So massive growth within that industry. That's crying out to kind of attract new people, whether that's a traineeship or an apprenticeship, into that sector. And hospitality too. I don't know if anybody's kind of experienced when they've tried to book a table, but they're kind of not got enough staff to basically operate because of everything that's going on. So another one really keen to introduce new people into. Okay, so this is where, next one, I hand over to our apprentice. This is a very glamorous picture of her, Gemma. She's in a great position because Gemma actually works within our apprenticeship recruitment team. So she's responsible for matching applicants with apprenticeship vacancies. So her experience is actually really valuable. And she's also had a bit of experience of every type of training. So yeah, I'll hand you over to Gemma.
Hey, so I'm Gemma. I wish I looked as glamorous as I did at graduation. It's unfortunately a Tuesday morning, not as glamorous there as I am today. So yeah, like Corey said, I came into apprenticeships in a really unusual way. So I'd actually gone to university and done my degree in events management, came out and couldn't find a job in the industry that I wanted to work in. Fell into an IT level 2 apprenticeship, which taught me so much. And I was able to obviously then stay on with PTP, doing a job that I really enjoyed. I was the admin support for our entire apprenticeship team, and obviously did something right because they then promoted me to into the sales and recruitment role, which I absolutely love now. And I've now gone back onto my second apprenticeship, which is a level 4 in sales. So I'm going back up to that degree level, which is really good. With the apprenticeship, I found it outperformed my university, only because I found that obviously university I wasn't, because I was so focused on the degree, I wasn't able to get any work experience, whereas alongside my apprenticeship I've been really lucky that I've been able to gain the experience, make really good obviously family here at PTP that look after me, and they've obviously just given me a world of opportunity here to kind of build myself and progress in my professional career, which has been really amazing. So if we can have the next slide, please. I think that's how it works. Don't know whether it's moving. Can we have the next slide? Okay, so what I do now is as Corey said, I'm part of our recruitment team. So I talk to both employer and learner. So I'll go out and I'll get the vacancies for young people and for people of any age to come and join PTP on an apprenticeship. So what we do through our enrolment process is all of our contact details are here. You're more than welcome to get in touch. We've got vacancies, as Corey said, in such a multitude of sectors. We can work with you to help you get into kind of any career that you're looking into, right? I said from people who are looking for a career change, people who are looking for coming out of A-levels, GCSEs, not quite sure what they want to do. Book on, we're happy to do a bit of an advice session with you and kind of help point you in the direction. We've got vacancies all over the West Midlands, as far down as Coventry at the moment and as far up as Manchester, I believe. So we've got people all over the place at the moment, so please get in touch. The process, you'll come in for a bit of a chat. We'll do a bit of as I said, an advice session with you. We'll discuss kind of what each role entails, especially with our health sector, obviously. They can be a bit intense. So we'll have a chat with you. We'll just see how we can support you. And then obviously what we can also do is, if for those of you that maybe are just a little bit further away from being apprenticeship ready, if I can just have the next slide, please. Can I have the next slide? Okay, we also offer a traineeship or a pre-apprenticeship program. And this is for those of you, as I said, that are a bit further away from apprenticeship, maybe just need a bit of support with maybe your confidence is a bit lacking, or you feel that you want to just upskill your maths and English before you go into an apprenticeship, or you just don't feel that you're quite ready to go there yet. We do have employers that are looking to kind of take you on for 6 to 8 weeks, give you some work experience, just some really good insight into what it's actually like to work in that industry. Now, for health and care, that's obviously so important because you're there and it's something that you've really got to love doing, and we don't want to just drop drop you onto a 12-month program without really giving you that opportunity to know what a day-to-day job role is like in there. So this, as I said, it's 6 weeks, then progressing onto a 12-month apprenticeship. And really just gives you that chance to work with PTP, work with the employer. These are tailored to developing your own personal skills to the role that we've matched you to, and really giving you the option to become that best person and really become a valued member of that team, and obviously then looking for long-term progression. So no matter how old you are, no matter what your situation is, we'll be more than happy to work with you, and obviously just help you find your best career choice.
Thank you.
So just some frequently asked questions here, which I'm going to hand back to Corrie for.
Thank you. So I think we've probably gone over a few of these as well. So can an apprenticeship lead to uni? Yes, absolutely. Level 3 apprenticeships and level 4 apprenticeships are actually equivalent to A levels, and you do receive UCAS points for uni for those. A lot of unis actually would rather you have done an apprenticeship, especially if it's related to the degree you're going to be doing, because you've already demonstrated that you're not a quitter. You're going to be there 9 to 5 or whatever your shifts are, and you've proved yourself within that environment. Do apprentices earn less than graduates? So I don't know if anyone, I know we've mentioned the Daily Mail did a bit of kind of publicity around apprenticeships the other day, and they actually said that apprentices could be around £50,000 plus better off than the average degree student after 3 years of studying, which is absolutely madness. But it is, as I say, it's just going to prove the kind of shift towards employers wanting that people to basically prove themselves within a work environment and promoting apprenticeships. So how long is an apprenticeship? Oh, an apprenticeship. I've just realised that. An apprenticeship. An apprenticeship, minimum of 12 months. However, it depends on the level, the subject, your prior knowledge, skills, experience, qualification. It's all taken into account. And the duration is, and kind of the style that you are taught is very much tailored around that. Do I get employer benefits as an apprentice? So yeah, you are an employee, basically. You are paid a wage, you get holiday entitlement, you get all the benefits that any other member of staff would get because you are a member of staff. Okay, so I'll hand you back. That was a little whistle-stop tour of PTP. Thank you.
Absolutely amazing, both of you. Thank you so much. And so interesting about all the different areas of health that you could potentially go into. Not going to lie, very interested myself in the saddlery one, because I've got two horses, and I could probably do with learning that just so that it'll save me a lot of money. But yeah, the region is so amazing, isn't it? The diversity actually of the industries is captivating. So no, thank you for that detail. And yeah, definitely. So anybody out there who's interested in the health sector in particular, definitely get in touch with PTP, because there are some fantastic opportunities for you all to get involved, really. So no, yeah, I'm gobsmacked with everything that you do, and yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. I think something that's really key for to mention as well, apprenticeships do go up to degree level, so you don't have to go to university once you've completed your level 4 apprenticeship. A lot of the apprentices within St Modwyn do their degree apprenticeships as part of being an apprentice, and they're really successful. So don't always think that you've got to, after your apprenticeship, go to university. You could continue on that track as well, which is very, very exciting. So I'm now going to take us to another one of our themes of the day, which again is huge in the area. Again, they've got a major issue with an ageing workforce as well. So let's go straight to Systems Group and talk about transport and logistics. I love logistics.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Danielle. I'm here today to speak to you about System Group. So System Group are a training provider that work heavily in the transport and logistics sector, and we are trying very hard to provide solutions to what is such a huge gap at the minute. I think last time it was around 100, maybe 150,000 shortage. So yeah, we're trying very hard to support some of our big employers to fill that gap. So next slide, please. What we do is tailor programs and we offer flexible solutions. So we do have a couple of different routes, whether that be apprenticeships or sector-based work academies. Just depends really on A, the person, but B, obviously the employer. But obviously today we're here to talk about apprenticeships. So if we move on to the next slide, I'll go through what our offer is. Apprenticeships for learners are fully funded by either the government or the employer, depending on whether they pay into something called a levy pot. What we do offer is 16 different pathways from level 2 up to level 5, which includes LGV, warehouses, leadership and management. And obviously when it comes to the employer side of things, there are a couple of incentives available to support employers wanting to recruit an apprentice, because I think sometimes there's a misconception that apprentices are maybe young 16 to 18-year-olds that maybe aren't that academic, when actually apprenticeships now are massive and they're actually now a chosen pathway, like we've mentioned before, rather than a degree. And actually, I'll speak personally about my experience in just a couple of slides. So if we could move on, please. In front of us here is a list of different programs that we offer. So we do have two sides to our business. There's a business services side, which in fairness, a lot of training providers do support with some of these qualifications. So that's anything like customer service, business admin, project management. You've got your level 3s, your level 5s, operations management. But from our personal point of view, what we push, promote, and we really are striving for is the logistics side of things. Our biggest qualification that we offer is the level 2 LGV. So they're those massive trucks that are on the motorway all the time, for anyone that doesn't know. And that's how we're trying to plug that driver shortage. The LGV qualification is 12 months long. It consists mainly of, the easiest way to describe would probably be another driving license. It allows you to drive those LGVs, but it entails quite a lot. So for 6 months of that qualification, we cover key modules. So that's a module 1A, which is another theory test, a module 2, which would be a hazard perception. We then cover driver qualification cards. So that is what allows you to then drive on your own on the apprenticeship from A to B, which sometimes could be from Glasgow right down to the other end of the country. We then go through something what's called a class 2, which is your Cat C, which is the smaller LGV vans or just the front of the bigger ones. But then we then move on to that Cat C and Cat E. It's not uncommon for there to be some really, really good salaries in this industry and sector. So we do look at anything between £36,000 to probably £42,000. And actually, the structure of some of our apprenticeships would probably only offer a 30% reduction while you're training. And then obviously, once you've completed the training, you'd be earning on a full salary. So compared to some other industries, that's really, really big to be in a training role. If we could move on, please. This side here shows an example of just a handful of some of the employers that we work with. So we work with some of these en masse, so we could have 100 plus either adverts or live learners with some of these, or potentially we just plug the 1s and 2s as people leave the business and they need someone, and we do that recruitment for them. In fact, there's probably another 7 or 8 contracts that we've won since this slide's been put together. And as you can see, it is massive, the sector. There's more names that could be added to that, so there's always lots of vacancies would be the best way to put that. If we can move on, please. The sector that we cover isn't really allocated to just one part of the country. It really is a national role. So it doesn't really matter where you live, if I'm honest, because you spend a lot of time on the road. So you could be living in Leeds, but you could be in Glasgow. You could be living in Liverpool, but actually you're in Coventry the next day. So it's a really good sector to get into if you don't want to be refined to one geographical area. And obviously it comes with the benefits then of you being able to visit all the different parts of the country and seeing some of the highlights that we've got to offer. If we could please move on. Here's a list of just some of our vacancies. So we do have all our vacancies on our website. However, the next slide will have my contact details. So if anyone wants to drop me a line, drop me a CV, that's absolutely fine. as you can see what I touched on before, some of our vacancies are just 1s and 2s and they are looking quite small, but then we've got really big contracts where they're looking to fill quite a substantial gap. So we can present quite a lot of opportunities, and in some cases we do warehouse projects which then promotes them onto wheels. We'd call that like a warehouse to wheels program, and you really get to see and experience a lot of different parts of the business. So we could move on to the next slide, please. There's my contact details and my email address, obviously our website, but I just want to take a couple of minutes now to actually speak about my personal experience. So I left school when I was 16 and I went straight into apprenticeships myself. I worked for a company called Mitchell & Butler, who are quite a big hospitality chain. I did 2 apprenticeships there with them. I worked my way up the business. I became a general manager in one of their restaurants. I then decided to work for head office, and I was exposed then to the learning and development team, to which hand in hand came with when the levy changed over. So I was then involved in a programme which meant we had to recruit apprentices, which was really, really exciting. But what I did find was that actually I was probably more passionate about the teaching side of things, and I wanted to be on the provider side. So I took a real change in my career then. I then worked for a small training provider, which was very local, and completed yet again another qualification, which was a level 3 team leading qualification. I then found myself in a head of department role. So I had 6 people under myself, and we structured into the sales team then. So that was made up of a marketing manager, business development managers within sales, and also like project managers. And I then enrolled onto yet again another qualification, which I'm still completing now, which is a level 5 operations management qualification, with the vision to then complete a level 7 apprenticeship when I complete. And what I would say is, had I have gone to university or chosen a different pathway, I probably wouldn't have been exposed to what I've been exposed to so far in my career. I probably wouldn't have been given the opportunities I've had, and I probably wouldn't have carved the career that I've managed to carve had I have just come straight out of university and done it in a slightly different way. So for me, I suppose the message is that people really need to consider what's right for them. For some qualifications or some careers, university absolutely is the best route, but actually for some others, there's lots of opportunities within apprenticeships, and you'd be surprised at how many apprenticeships are out there, whether it's logistics or whether it's something completely bizarre and really, really wacky. There's probably something out there to suit everyone. So I suppose that's probably my closing sentence. I can see a couple of questions have come through, so I will reply to all of them now. But obviously, if anyone's got any questions or CVs they want to hand over, please drop me an email and I'll help you all as much as I can.
Danielle, that was so wonderful, and you know what, but it just shows again the passion that is coming from all of the providers. Again, you've just echoed that with that support and wanting to help people and actually getting them to realise the opportunities in the industry. You and I both know that 1996 rights on driving changed, so I can't drive anything over 3.5 tons. And it's one of those things that really is affecting, isn't it, what's happening in the industry. So an area that people want to get into, it's really well paid. Yes, you're traveling up and down the country, but actually you're getting to see things that normal people wouldn't get to see. And yeah, the opportunities are absolutely amazing, aren't they? So no, I think it's brilliant. And yeah, I love your story about the apprenticeships as well. And again, you've just shown it's those transferable skills, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, one area and then you've actually moved from the other area. So yeah, absolutely amazing. And it's made me laugh because I did the opposite to you. So I was in the training provider and then I've gone into the
employer side.
Yeah, so but it just goes to show again what your echo was about the fact that we've got to look at what suits us, haven't we? Everybody's
options, isn't there?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fantastic. Oh, it's just so exciting. So we're nearing the end of our session, but we are now going to have some fantastic advice from our brilliant Deborah from the National Career Service, which everybody needs career service, don't they, Deborah? So I'll let you take this away and kind of talk to us about what you can do for everybody.
Thank you, Alison. It's a lovely introduction. It's a pleasure to be here, and it's great to see so many of you on the event this afternoon. So just to explain a bit about my role. So I work as a relationship manager for the National Careers Service and cover the West Midlands region. So a bit of an introduction about the service. So we provide free, professional and personalised advice and guidance. And that can be on a range of things from getting a new job. It could be changing careers if you're in employment, training and education opportunities, and information about the labour market. Our support's available to anyone aged 13 or over. Ooh, can I just ask you to go back to the previous screen? Thank you. And those that are living in England. So if you're 13 to 18 and in education, you can access our support via telephone. We have a web chat. There's our website, which I will share with you. We've also got some social media channels. And if you're 18, not in education, employment or training, and anyone 19 and over can access the support through telephone and face-to-face appointments as well. Thank you. So our qualified careers advisors can help you to explore the different careers and options. And as we've found today, there's so many opportunities available. So it's helping point you in the right direction. So we can look at your strengths and your skills and how to identify those, helping you develop smart career goals to progress, move forwards positively, and also make use of lots of career tools that are out there. We want to help you understand labour market information, what's happening out there with the job market, and also access, quality learning, training, apprenticeship and employment opportunities. We'll also help you develop things like your CV and prepare for interviews and look at job search techniques so you can make good quality applications, and also help you plan and implement those next steps to take you forwards. So with regards to apprenticeships, and like Danielle before me, I'm a strong believer in apprenticeships. I'm currently an apprentice myself, and I'm doing my level 6 diploma in career guidance and development. So I think it's a brilliant opportunity. As we've found, apprenticeships are for anyone age 16 over, not in full-time education, and there's no upper age limit to apprenticeships. You can also do an apprenticeship if you've done a qualification before, if it's in a different subject. So we can help you complete skills assessments and identify options and pathways to explore all those different careers that are out there, and also look at how an apprenticeship works and how it might differ to other training and work opportunities. We'll also help you make a plan of action to support you with your short-term and your long-term career goals, and also navigate the lots of opportunities that are out there. So the apprenticeship website will help you search and apply for these apprenticeship opportunities. So with regards to the apprenticeship support, we'll help you complete a good quality personal statement and application form. Also develop your CV to really highlight your strengths and skills and experiences to employers. And even if you've not worked before, it's about those personal experiences that you can highlight. And also with regards to interviews, looking at competency-based questions you might encounter using different techniques and methods, and help you prepare for all those different types of interviews we've got now, like Teams, Skype, Zoom, and at times face-to-face interviews. And you'll receive ongoing support from your careers advisor. So if you want to get in touch with the National Careers Service, you can speak to an advisor through our 0800 100 900 number. Calls are free from landlines and most mobile numbers. You can also access the National Careers Service website at nationalcareers.service.gov.uk. And on our website, there's lots of information with skills assessment tools, job profiling. You can look at opportunities, and also there's lots of careers advice on there. There's also a web chat, and you can email our advisors as well. And if you want to follow us on social media, we post lots of opportunities at Careers West Mids. Thank you.
That's brilliant, Deborah. Thank you so much for that detail. And I think the theme that you've just mentioned there, if you've got a job dream, let National Careers help you turn it into a SMART goal. I continually tell people a dream is just a goal that you haven't made SMART. So we've got all of the providers today have said, you know, if you want some support, you want some help in this industry, let us support you and help you. So if you've got a job dream, then utilize these fantastic people that are on this event today, because that's what they want to do. They want to help make your dreams a reality, and to do that we need to make them into SMART goals. So I want to thank everybody who has presented on our session today. You've all been absolutely fantastic. This Careers and Opportunities Roadshow just is brilliant what West Midlands Combined Authority have put together. You know, we have covered today hospitality, construction, business, financial, professional, engineering, manufacturing, digital, health, transport, logistics, and also careers. How absolutely amazing is it that we have been able to do that today, all digitally as well? Technology, it's a lot to thank for. So I want to thank everybody. I know there's been lots of questions that have been asked in the chat. I believe most of them have been answered by the team at West Midlands Combined Authority. And just to mention, all the slides are going to be sent out as well. So Louise, is there anything else that you'd like?
Yeah, just want to thank everybody for today. Thank you for Alison for hosting. Anybody that wants to stay behind and obviously speak with some of our speakers, not sure about the career choices, then by all means stay on. But yeah, just to say thank you to everybody, and thanks for everyone for joining us. Thank you.